Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Honorable Francis Barron, Minister for Foreign Affairs and Caricom Affairs. Ambassador to the People's Republic of China, Ambassador Hubert Charles, and of course is also an advisor to the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Caricom Affairs, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, other officials from the Chinese Embassy, Commissioner of Police, Acting Fire Chief, members of the Police Force of Dominica, and also the Fire Department and the Prison Service, members of the media fraternity. I want to also recognize the hardworking staff of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Without the support here to this function would have been impossible. Your Excellency, permit me to, on behalf of the Ministry of Justice, Immigration, and National Security, to express my profound gratitude to you and the government for such a timely donation. I want to reiterate what was said just now by the Permanent Secretary within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and to say that the relationship between Dominica and the People's Republic of China is strong. And of course, there are merits in the effort made by our Prime Minister at the time, which was highly criticized by the weak-minded, to have established diplomatic relationship with the People's Republic of China. And of course, thus far, we have benefited tremendously from this fortune of relationship. I listened just now to the address from the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and she made mention of a number of interventions for your good self and office, facilitating, of course, a number of interventions that have added value to our development as a people. Our presence here today is historic in the sense that this facility, though damaged by Hurricane Maria, was given to us as a huge gift. And of course, yesterday, history was written here in this wonderful facility. I'm not going to go into absolute details. But I want to say to you further that the people of Dominica are grateful for your support over the years. As you heard just now from the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, what is happening here today is as a result of an agreement signed by the Minister for Justice, Immigration, and National Security on behalf of the government of Dominica on September 20th, 2016. And I'm elated by the fact that today we are actually receiving those wonderful gifts. Thereafter, I can recall going to China, and we had further discussions with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in China, and I was given the assurance that those vehicles would have been built from scratch, and I'm happy for that. Let me give you the assurance that the Ministry of Justice, through, of course, the Dominica Police Force, the Fire Department, the Office of Disaster Management, and lately, the Prison Department, will make good and maximum use of those vehicles. And to say further, that those vehicles will add further to the national security infrastructure. And just to give you an appreciation as to how those vehicles will be assigned, starting first with the 6 ambulances. We actually, the government, has been examining a number of the health districts. We have 7 health districts in Dominica. And a number of the districts are very, very large. And as a consequence, a tremendous degree of strain is placed on having just one vehicle to those very huge districts, especially the rural districts, Portsmouth, and of course Granby. So we, because of your donation, Your Excellency, 2 additional ambulances will be provided to the headquarters in Roseau. That's the fire department. And that will take the number to 3 ambulances. 1 additional ambulance will be assigned to the Portsmouth district to take the number to 2. 1 also will be placed at the Medvinal station. 1 to the Granby district, and then it means therefore we'll have 2 ambulances at the Granby district, and 1 for the first time will be placed at the Kennyfield station. Please do not add anything to that. Now we also have a brand new fire truck with the appropriate appliances to fight fires, of course, at the airport facility. And this fire truck will be placed at the Kennyfield Airport. And we want to say thank you very much for that. We also have 2 off-road military vehicles. And 2 off-road, and 3 military vans. 2 of those vans will go to the police force, and 1 will go to the Office of Disaster Management. We have 5 prison buses, and I think it's very important because not long ago we were talking about having a vehicle specifically customized for the court section, because that vehicle there is an old one. And I'm happy that with your intervention, Your Excellency, that 4 of those vehicles, the prison buses with cages, and that's very important, will go to the police, and 1 will go to the prison service. And 1 transport bus will go to the police department to take the aggregate to 19. I want to say further that in the next coming weeks and months and years, deliberate steps will be taken to revitalize the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force. I can recall at our last passionate initial recruit training, we had spoken about taking the police force to 600 in strength. Currently we stand at 501. I want to report that the Honorable Prime Minister has approved that request, and then for the training of an additional 100 police officers. We're hoping to start recruit training as early as the 1st of May, I've been advised. So we are hoping to have an additional 601 police officers over a 2-year period of time. And the reason for that is to ensure that certain specialized departments within the police force are brought to the levels where they need to be brought at. Starting first with the Special Service Unit, to ensure that the Special Service Unit becomes a reserve department, and to be responsible for internal security and civil defense. In order to achieve that, therefore, a very robust and sustained training program will be embarked upon, placing emphasis on tactical training, among others. And to say further that we're looking also at additional specialized unit, the task force, to ensure that we augment the numbers so we can have the kind of coverage we need to have. So as I've said before, that these 19 vehicles by themselves will not do it. We have to ensure that we have officers with the right spirit and also the right numbers. And then we have, over the past months, I've been experiencing a number of challenges, especially brought about by Hurricane Maria. And that is why emphasis needs to be placed on civil defense, ensuring that our men, especially within the special service unit, are trained in areas that are useful to our reconstruction effort. So, Your Excellency, in closing, I want to give you the assurance that those vehicles will be put into maximum use. I therefore call on the police department and through the Commissioner of Police, and I call also upon the acting fire chief to ensure that the men and women using those vehicles demonstrate the highest degree of ownership. A gift should be cherished. And I'm confident that the men and women of the fire department, the police force, and the prison department will do just that. So, Your Excellency, I wish you well, and long live the relationship between Dominica and the People's Republic of China. Thank you very much.